And Coach, it's interesting. You and I were just talking, going back a long, long ways, and you recruit kids out of high school, but I want to take you back to when you were in high school,
Right.
Quigley South Prep School in Chicago, and you're now a coach.
Right.
Back then, which teachers or which coaches would you say have an impact on a little bit who you are right now?
Wow, that's a good question. I think first, it started with my parents. They were always my first teachers, and then I can remember a few of my grade school teachers that I think taught me a lot more about life, and even that translates in the basketball. Greta Chamberlain was one teacher that I had a ton of homework. Really got that discipline from, it's not always going to be fun, but it's always, you have to do work. You got to put the work in. And then it's Mike Ivers. Mike Ivers was a priest at the time. We only lived probably a stone throw away from the rectory in Chicago, and he was always by our home. And he's my wrestling coach, track coach, flag football coach. I mean, he was everything. And when he left St. Philip Neri and went to Quigley South, that was the reason why we chose Quigley South High School, which was on the other side of town. So I've had some pretty strong people in my life, and Mike Ivers is still a big influence.
It's interesting, too. You're here to coach basketball games. You're here to win the Horizon League, take your team to the NCAA tournament. But how much of it do you take to heart that you hope these guys go out into the working world, that they grow to be young men that have an impact, as dads, as professionals? How much do you understand that part of your job?
Well, it's very important, and I take it serious, and I learned that from Coach Ryan. Coach Ryan spent a lot of time talking to us about life skills and more than just basketball and how it all translates, and just the discipline of going to class every day is the same discipline you need just to make that rotation in a game that's going to save your teammate or help your teammate. So it's a lot of those things that are really important. I do the same thing with my guys. I do the same thing with my children, and there really isn't a separation between life skills and trying to teach the game of basketball.
One guy that's been evident, and I know I travel in, I'm watching a little bit more from afar, and that's Ricky Franklin. He's a father. He's had to grow in his focus. We talked about it before the season started. He has grown. He's trying to take care of his business off the court. He kind of embodies what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. There's no way I could have done it when I was a student athlete, and he's balancing a lot of different things, wearing a lot of different hats, and trying to do well in the classroom, trying to excel at this level on the basketball court is difficult, and then being a dad. And he's torn, he's distracted at times, but some way he's managed to put together a pretty nice season so far.
All right, well, thank you very much, Coach. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you folks in the second half. We'll have all the highlights and stats before we get there. Then it's the second half. It's Butler, it's Milwaukee. From the U.S. Cellular Arena, all the action right here on Time Warner Sports 32.